It seems like every single person is tweeting these days, and they're all putting out status updates. Some of them are totally inane, some of them are very informational. Relationships are building, growing off of this. People are networking. It's bringing the web together, but it's just a constant stream of updates. So you have a Twitter page and you have a blog page. How are they connected? Well, they're not. The only way to connect them right now would be to copy and paste text and put it into your blog of a tweet. I see something that you guys think are profound and you want on your blog. What do? You copy and paste the text or you retype it. Or you take a screenshot. And it's a static image on your website that's not searchable by Google. You know, it's not part of the index, and it's also very time consuming. Neither one of these solutions are good. So in an effort to give us more functionality, Twitter released on Tuesday embeddable tweets. Snippets of HTML code that can be delivered from Twitter to your website, copy and paste that in, and it'll dynamically include the information from Twitter, including username, time, date, stamps of the post, as well as the avatar on there. Are web designers going to have control over the size and look and feel of it? Can we change colors to make it more aesthetically pleasing on our themes, our WordPress themes, or our website design? I don't really know yet, and we're going to see how that's going to pan out. In the meantime, though, we can really just fall back on the fact that Twitter is doing what it can to make itself more ubiquitous, more highly functional, and just spread out across the web outside of Twitter, on blogs, and on web pages. It's a growth, it's good for them, and it should be good for us. I've said it, and so has every other tech blogger in the world. We've all talked about the fact that the iPhone and the iPad, anything using the iPhone mobile OS, now or in the future, are not going to have Flash running on them. Steve Jobs even came out complaining about why Flash is a closed standard, why it requires too much processing power, why it kills battery life, why it's insecure, why it causes things to crash. And Adobe fired back telling him that that was absolutely ridiculous, and it was just totally nonsense, and it was just him being too tight-fisted over the whole thing. Well, Opera, the makers of the wildly popular browser, came out this week in an official position to support HTML5 over Flash, with a not-so-subtle warning to Adobe that Flash better become open standard soon. They say that devices run hot with Flash. They still will include support for Flash when it comes to interactivity on websites and dynamic content. But in terms of video, they are officially getting behind the HTML5 open source movement. I think this is just another nail in the coffin for Flash, something that I've been waiting for a very, very long time, long before my Apple days. I think it's terrible, it's slow, it's insecure, it just requires so much processing power that it's not even really realistic. So just to see somebody else jumping in the fray, the anti-Flash, get it fixed now Adobe fray, is important for what this means for the future of Flash. Hopefully it goes away soon, or has an entire overhaul where it works. Either way, I'm glad the current incarnation of Flash does not exist, and its future just seems limited. It has just not been a good week for Microsoft. So they finally came out and officially announced that they're going to be canceling the Courier Tablet. This was their answer to the iPad. This was their next entry into the mobile computing tablet scene. This is a space that Microsoft has tried to get into several times over, and it's over. This was their first attempt at a truly, purely Microsoft-based solution, hardware and software, and they decided that it wasn't for them. It wasn't working. They didn't really say too many reasons on why, but they did say that they've decided to let go of it with hopes of getting back into the space in the future. Microsoft, you guys better get it together. Okay, waiting until everybody else has one so you can show up. You can't come that late to the party and expect people to notice you're there. It's just too late for that. But the Courier is just not going to happen. Use the pen. Bill Gates still says that some combination of touch, pen, microphone, all belongs there. Come on. I mean, just holding around a computer at that point here. But it's not going to happen. As they announced this, that's one less tablet to compete against the iPad. Whether you like the iPad or not, even Microsoft admits that they couldn't keep up with it, and the Courier was a no-go. So, not happening. It's officially dead. As if Microsoft shooting themselves in the foot with the Courier was not enough, there's an unsubstantiated rumor going around. They have not come out and said this, but there's sources, we believe it to be true. HP is going to can the production of their tablet, the HP Slate. They said that Windows Phone 7 just doesn't cut it. It's just not going to do the job. The new Windows Mobile OS, it's just not enough. So they're going to get rid of it. Additionally, they're talking about getting rid of Intel-based hardware, which means that any Microsoft operating system on any HP machine is also not going to be there. What does that mean? Talking about the possibility of Google's Android coming to HP in the future. Additionally, don't forget that HP is in the process of acquiring Palm. The leader, the pioneer in mobile computing, Palm, is all but sold, signed, sealed, and delivered to HP. So maybe it's WebOS. Maybe that looks like what's going to be showing up on HP mobile devices in the future. But between Windows 7 not doing it for HP and Intel hardware being too power hungry for HP, looks like Microsoft is just about out of HP's loop going forward. Not a good week for Microsoft. They better figure it out soon.